Greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the Adjutant. On this channel, I break down complex topics into clear, practical information you can actually use. No hype, no noise, just clarity. And folks, I got something hot off the presses. I was woken early this morning to a bunch of news alerts. So let's go ahead and talk right about it. All right, quick, clear, no fluff. President Trump just announced a one-time $1,776 warrior dividend, or 1776, for U.S. service members promised before Christmas, December 2025. And this is according to Stars and Stripes, as well as many other news outlets. Now, if you're active duty, guard, or reserve, you're probably asking the same thing that I'm asking. Is this real? You know, who qualifies and how would it actually hit your pocket? DFAS, a separate check, or, you know, something else? Well, what I'm gonna do in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down what's confirmed, what's still unclear, and exactly how you can verify the details without getting scammed. Now, what was announced during the White House press conference? Here's what multiple outlets are reporting: that during the primetime address on December 17th of 2025, President Trump announced a $1,076 payment described as a warrior dividend for roughly 1.45 million service members, with the claim that it would arrive before Christmas. And this is according to the Wall Street Journal, and Stars and Stripes as well have reported this. Now, let's talk about the eligibility, because there are numerous rumors that have been exploding all around this. Earlier reports described it as going to service members, but the phrase can mean different things depending on how the policy is written and implemented. So what I think should be considered is that it's actually going to be active duty, which is usually the simplest of way to kind of characterize things. Then, of course, there's the National Guard and Reserves. They are included automatically or only if on qualifying orders. There's cadets, midshipmen, sometimes included in the term service members language. Sometimes it's not. Retirees and veterans, very often not included in service members bonus programs unless explicitly stated. So that's something to kind of consider. Then there's survivors and dependents, almost never included unless the policy is very specific to that terminology or to that category of folks. Now, as of right now, the big point is that we got reporting on this announcement, but people still need official guidance to know exactly which groups are in and which groups are not. Now, the question might ask, well, how are you going to be paid? And the thing that we need to understand is, let's get practical. If the money is going to most troops quickly, the most likely delivery path is DFAS, because DFAS already has your direct deposit info and pay system. Now, that said, it could come in the form of a separate deposit, an extra line item on your regular pay, a one-off special payment process. So that's some ways of delivery. So here's the real talk. Anyone promising you a sign-up link is a red flag, so be on the lookout for that. If it's legit, it should route through official channels, established systems. Some reporting says that the dividend is linked to tariff revenue claims. The Wall Street Journal pointed that out. But regardless of the political spin, what matters for you is what's the legal authority and funding mechanism. Because for a payment like this to be reliable and fast, you want to see written authorization, clear eligibility language, and of course a distribution process. So here's what you should watch out for next. DOD statements, DFAS announcement, of course, with their frequently asked questions, service level messages, be you in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and of course my favorite, the Space Force, and any formal documentation that explains the timing and eligibility. Now, speaking of timing, the president indicated by Christmas. By Christmas, you know, it sounds simple, but payment timelines, you know, can be kind of tricky. If leadership wants it before December 25, that's a very, very tight window, which again points to DFAS, automation being the most plausible route, but we're still kind of waiting on the specifics of the information. So if you don't see anything immediately, that doesn't automatically mean it's fake. It may mean implementation details are still, kind of catching up. So you always want to be on the lookout for scams. And so let me make this perfectly clear. Whenever there's free money, scams spike. So here are 3 hard rules that you want to consider. No legit military payment requires you to click on some random link to confirm your deposit. Don't give any of your CAC information, your MyPay login, your bank login, certainly not your Social Security over email and text. You want to verify through official sources, your chain of command, official DFAS, MyPay notices, and through your trusted channels. So if you see messages that say, claim your 1776 now, assume it's trash until proven otherwise. So definitely want to watch out for that. So here's what you want to do today. You want to check your MyPay contact info, make sure it's correct, because if you get this news, you want to make sure the money goes in the correct account. You want to make sure your direct deposit hasn't changed. You want to watch for official DFAS guidance or service-wide messages. You want to keep an eye on your LES or any special pay line. And if you're in the Guard or Reserve, pay special attention to all members or members on active orders or members in pay status, by a specific date. That one line can determine everything. So if this actually pays out, 1,776 can go fast. So don't waste it on things you don't need. My suggestion is knock out some high interest debt. With this extra money, you don't want to just splurge it. You want to build a mini emergency fund. That's something that would be wise to do. And you want to cover something real like travel home, for your children, or maybe any car repairs or home repairs and things like that. And oddly enough, I've been flooded with a bunch of questions. So let me try to go through and see if I can answer some of these as best as I can. And one viewer asked, is this taxable? Well, short answer is we don't know until official guidance states how it is to be categorized. Many special pays are taxable. Some allowances aren't. So, you want to wait for the classification. Another viewer writes, do retirees get it? I'm a retiree, so I'm hoping. But again, you don't want to assume that. Retirees are often excluded unless specifically named. And another viewer asks, will it hit MyPay as a bonus? Again, if it routes through DFAS, you'll likely see it under the special categories entry or separate deposit. But again, we need official DFAS language. So the bottom line is that this Warrior Dividend and by Christmas is going to be very interesting, but the most important part is what comes next, the official guidance that defines eligibility and the payment process. So here's what I want from you. Go ahead and comment your branch, your status, and tell me whether you think the Guard and Reserve should be included automatically, yes or no. And don't forget about the retirees as well. And if you want me to cover the moment DFAS drops the official rules, go ahead and hit subscribe, because I'll do a clean update the second we have verified details. Now, before I wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Information only matters if you understand it. And understanding gives you options, whether we're talking about military pay, benefits, travel, or bigger life decisions. The goal here is always the same: clarity over confusion. Too many people move through systems they don't fully understand, and that costs them time, money, and peace of mind. My goal with this channel is to kind of slow things down, break things apart, and give you the context you need to make better decisions for your life. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know enough to ask the right question, because that's where real leverage starts. If this video has helped you, go ahead and hit that like button so it reaches the people who need it, and subscribe if you want clear, straightforward breakdown without all the noise. I read the comments, I pay attention to what you want covered. I treat this channel like a conversation, and I certainly don't want this to feel like a lecture. Remember this: your time matters, your decisions matter, and understanding the system you're operating in matters more than most people realize. Stay informed, stay intentional. I wish you blessings and blessings. I am the Adjutant. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.